The world's next great power struggle isn't happening in the Middle East or the South China Sea. It's happening in the Arctic Circle. Climate change isn't just melting ice. It's reshaping global power. And at the center of it all, Greenland. When Trump offered to buy Greenland in 2019, the world laughed. But maybe they shouldn't have, because whoever controls the Arctic could control the future of global trade. The Arctic ice is melting fast, and as it disappears, something else emerges: opportunity. We're talking about 35 trillion in resources, oil, natural gas, rare earth minerals, and something even more valuable than that: new shipping routes. Imagine cutting 3,000 nautical miles off the journey from Europe to Asia. That is what the Arctic promises. But here's where it gets interesting. Only 5 countries can legally claim Arctic resources: Canada, Denmark, Norway, Russia, and the United States. But Russia, they're not just claiming, they're taking. With 6 military naval ports and the world's largest fleet of icebreakers, Russia has a clear message to the world: this is our Arctic. Moscow isn't just playing chess, they're controlling the board. But what about Greenland? Its waters serve as one of the only 2 gates to the Arctic. The Guic Gap is the only way Russia's northern fleet can reach the Atlantic. For NATO, it's their lifeline across the North Atlantic. So when we talk about Greenland, we're not just talking about an ice-covered island. We're talking about control of the Arctic. We're talking about trillions in resources. We're talking about the future of global trade. Greenland would offer America deeper penetration into Arctic waters, more access to offshore resources, and a stronger position against Russia's growing dominance. But here's the real question: is it already too late? Russia has spent decades preparing for this moment, building infrastructure, deploying military assets, establishing dominance, while the world focused elsewhere. Moscow quietly became the Arctic superpower. The second half of this century won't belong to the Pacific or the Atlantic. It will belong to the Arctic and to the powers that control it. So the question isn't whether Greenland matters. The question is, who will control the top of the world? The rapid melting of ice is a phenomenon of profound importance, not just for the environment, but also for global geopolitics. As the ice sheets retreat, vast opportunities for international trade and resource exploitation emerge. One of the most striking impacts is the opening of new shipping routes, which promise to significantly reduce the travel distance between major global trading hubs. Consider the journey from Europe to Asia. Traditionally, ships traveling between these 2 continents have to navigate around the southern tip of Africa or through the Suez Canal, and then through the Strait of Malacca into the South China Sea. This route is lengthy and vulnerable to piracy and other maritime hazards. The Houthi blockade of the Red Sea is a prime example of the sort of maritime hazards that can affect this route. However, the melting Arctic ice will cut this journey by as much as 3,000 nautical miles. A shorter, more direct route through the Arctic would not only save time and fuel, but also reduce risks and costs for shippers. The Northern Sea Route, a corridor that runs along the Russian coastline and through the Arctic Ocean, is one such emerging route. In 2019, Russia announced the creation of a shipping lane that would allow year-round navigation, marking a significant milestone in its strategic ambitions in the Arctic. This route is expected to become increasingly viable as the ice sheets continue to disappear, further enhancing Russia's strategic position and economic leverage. Beyond the shorter shipping routes, the melting ice also reveals vast deposits of oil, natural gas, and rare earth minerals. Estimates suggest that the Arctic holds approximately 13% of the world's undiscovered oil and 30% of its untapped natural gas resources. These resources will provide nations with substantial economic power and strategic influence on the global stage. Further, the melting ice opens access to other valuable mineral deposits such as gold, platinum, and diamonds. The rare earth elements found in the Arctic are crucial for modern technology, including smartphones, electric vehicles, AI, and defense systems. These resources are key to giving nations a competitive edge in important industries, further reinforcing their geopolitical standing. In essence, the melting Arctic ice is reshaping the global landscape by creating new opportunities. It is prompting countries to reevaluate their strategic priorities and to engage in a race for dominance in this newly accessible region. This is why the Arctic is set to become a crucial battleground in the 21st century. Control over the Arctic's vast resources and strategic advantages hinge on legal sovereignty. Currently, only 5 countries hold legitimate claims to the region's resources under international law: Canada, Norway, Russia, Denmark via Greenland, and the United States via Alaska. These 5 countries have established a complex web of legal and strategic interests in the Arctic, making it a region of increasing geopolitical competition. The stakes are high, with each nation seeking to bolster its position in this rapidly evolving region. With its northern territories spanning nearly 2 million square miles, Russia controls a significant portion of the Arctic, giving it a strategic advantage over other nations. One of Russia's key strategies has been the development of advanced naval capabilities tailored for the Arctic environment. At the forefront of this effort are its state-of-the-art ice breakers, the largest fleet in the world. These vessels are crucial for maintaining navigation through the ice-choked waters of the Arctic Ocean and the Northern Sea Route. Russia's fleet includes both nuclear and conventional icebreakers, allowing it to ensure uninterrupted passage even in the most extreme conditions. In addition to its ice-breaking capabilities, Russia has invested heavily in building a network of military bases and infrastructure across its Arctic territories. 6 military naval ports have been established, including at Murmansk and Vladivostok, providing Russia with crucial logistical support and operational hubs. These facilities are not just for defense, but also serve as strategic points for monitoring and controlling the region's resources and shipping lanes. Russia's military buildup in the Arctic is complemented by its scientific and research initiatives. The country has established several Arctic research stations which serve dual purposes of scientific exploration and strategic surveillance. These stations are equipped with cutting-edge technology and are staffed by scientists and military personnel who gather valuable data on the region's environment, resources, and potential threats. Politically, Russia has been aggressive in asserting its sovereignty and influence. The emerging Arctic shipping routes are incredibly important to Russia, now more than ever, since Sweden and Finland have effectively turned the Baltic Sea into a NATO lake. However, Russia's dominance in the Arctic is not without challenges. The melting ice presents both opportunities and risks. While it opens up new shipping routes and resource access, it also exposes Russia's northern territories to increased environmental threats and potential security concerns. Moreover, the United States, Canada, and Denmark are also actively pursuing their own strategic interests, creating a complex and dynamic geopolitical landscape. Greenland is not only the largest island in the world, but it also holds a critical position as one of only 2 key gateways to the Arctic. At the heart of its strategic value is the GIUK Gap, a maritime choke point that stretches between Greenland, Iceland, and the United Kingdom. This narrow corridor is a critical route for Russia's northern fleet to access the Atlantic Ocean, making it a vital point of control for any nation seeking to project power in the region. For NATO, maintaining dominance through the GIUK Gap is essential for ensuring the security of the North Atlantic. NATO's interest in Greenland is not just about military defense, but also about securing a strategic advantage that could counterbalance Russia's growing influence in the Arctic. For the US, securing its position in Greenland is crucial for maintaining its influence and ensuring its strategic interests are protected in this rapidly changing region. Gaining control over Greenland would provide the United States with enhanced maritime presence and operational capabilities in the region. With direct access to Greenland's ports and strategic locations, the US Navy could establish a more permanent and robust naval presence, enabling it to project power more effectively and respond swiftly to any regional threats or crises. In the broader geopolitical context, securing Greenland would also strengthen the US's strategic posture against China's growing influence. As China continues to expand its global reach, the Arctic is seen as a critical region for its economic and strategic interests. By having a strong foothold in Greenland, the US can counterbalance Chinese ambitions and assert its dominance in this emerging geopolitical battleground. However, the question remains, is the US already too late in securing its position in Greenland? The reality is that Russia has invested considerable time and resources in its Arctic strategy and is miles ahead of everyone else. Catching up requires significant investment and strategic foresight. The window of opportunity is narrowing, which is why Trump is escalating his rhetoric against both Denmark and Canada. So what do you think? Will Trump succeed in acquiring Greenland from Denmark? Does it even matter? Has Russia already secured its dominion over the Arctic? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. I hope you consider liking and subscribing to our channel for more. And if you want to support my work, go to my website and become a paid subscriber. There, you can gain access to exclusive short films, podcasts, and documentaries, and of course, support my media work. Till next time.
Trust nothing. No laws. Free your mind. Everything is propaganda. Everything. Propaganda. Everything is propaganda. So why not choose your own?
propandco.com